Hi everyone, and welcome to my first video of 2022, which is what's in my camera bag. So if we open up the main compartment, everything that I need and use on a day-to-day basis is within this camera bag. Very rigid camera bag, everything's very solid. You know, you can be a bit more rugged with it and it will still protect your gear to the max. Fantastic. If you are looking for a camera bag, please do make sure you invest in a brilliant camera bag, because you think of all of the equipment that's going in there, it needs a safe place to be, so always keep that in mind. So new additions this year, I have got one or two additions to my bag, which basically if I'm out and about shooting, I need to have this on me at all time. And if it works for me, it stays in the bag. If I don't need it, it comes out of the bag. I don't want excess weight on my back. If I just never use it, there's no point having it in my camera bag. So the first edition this year is my brand new vlog camera, which I'm currently shooting on now, which is the Sony ZV-E10. So my partner got me this for Christmas, and the reason that I got this camera is basically because I wanted a bit more of a small form factor. I wanted a screen that tilted out and I could see myself in it. So forgiveness guys if I'm looking at this down the lens, which I should be doing, but I keep looking over because it's the first time that I have a flip out screen. So if my eyes are going left and right, I apologize for that, but now you know it's because I have a flip out screen. But the reason that I got this camera is because obviously I want to do a lot more videos in 2022, but I also wanted to take quite a bit of strain off my main body, which is my mirrorless Nikon Z6. This thing is an absolute beast of a camera. It's my main shooter. It's pretty much what I make my income with my photography. I love this camera. I cannot boast about this camera any more than I already have in the past, but honestly, mirrorless is the way forward. I absolutely love this camera. The Z6 is an absolute monster in terms of video and photography. A lot of my videos that you've seen so far were all recorded on this, but this guy's getting a little bit more of a rest now, so that the video can be covered on the Sony ZV-E10. Now moving on to lenses. Now I have 5 lenses in total, and the first is my Sigma, if I can get it out, 24-70. Absolutely, honestly guys, if you need a full frame lens, please look into getting a 24-70. The f2.8, just exactly what it covers is incredible. The range, so from 24, which is wide, up into 70, so you get the 35, you get the 50 included in that. Absolutely brilliant, and a go-to lens for many photographers. So that's lens number 1. And the second lens, which is an F mount, 70-200, so another F mount. Absolutely incredible lens. It doesn't get any bigger, so you can twist the ring. It doesn't get any bigger. That's its form factor. It is large, and obviously when you've got the F to Z adapter on it, and then you've got the Z6, which is the main camera body, you then have a very big setup. But this lens is incredible. You can use it for a bit of wildlife. Obviously you can't zoom in that far, but if you've got a 2.8 aperture, which this has, it is incredible. So Sigma 70-200 f-mount lens, absolutely fantastic, and probably, I'd have to say it's probably my most used lens, if I'm honest. More often than not, even if I shoot weddings, I'm using the Sigma 70-200. This is my ultra wide 14-30. It is an f4, so it's not very good in low light. It's not brilliant, but all of my videos that you've seen pretty much have all been shot on this, which is my 14-30. I do quite a lot of wide angle stuff, and this is the lens that I use. It doesn't have a bulbous front, as you can see. It's a nice flat element with an 82mm thread size. Perfect if you're out and about and you want to get some nice wide vistas. And another one, which is it's actually my only prime lens that I've got. It's a 1.8 35mm Z mount for my Nikon Z6. Absolutely phenomenal in low light, brilliant for portraits, brilliant in weddings, and obviously you've got this as well, which is super silent for the motors inside for autofocus if you are looking to do a bit of video, if it's adapted to the Z6, which is perfect. And the last one, obviously my new addition, which is the camera that I'm on now, has a 16-50 lens, and that is a kit lens, and I'm not going to be changing that. It is a Sony. I'm a Nikon shooter, but I don't want to be adding any more glass, especially Sony E-mount glass, because I'm happy with what this does, and for the sole purpose that I've got the camera, it does exactly the job that I need. Drones. Now, I used to use I still do use it, but very, very little. The Mavic 2 Pro, absolutely incredible camera, incredible drone, OcuSync 2.0, phenomenal bit of kit, bit hefty, bit big. So this year I decided that obviously with the laws in Britain, this thing now cannot really fly in many places unless you have a license, and even then you still get people having a bit of a problem with you when you're flying these things, because at the end of the day, not many people like drones, which is a shame because they do get you to places that a camera just cannot get to usually. But this year we have made the decision that the Mavic 2 Pro is going to be relegated and a new drone is coming in. This year the new drone is the Mavic Mini 2. Now this is for many reasons, because obviously just look at the size. If I hold the Mavic 2 Pro, just look at the difference in sizes. Come on, look at the size difference, absolutely incredible. So the Mavic Mini 2 is my latest edition. Obviously it's going to save weight on my back being in my bag, but it is incredible. It's under 250 grams, it is small, it is light, it is quiet, so very good when you're out and about in these places. You don't want to be annoying people with flying a drone around. This is very, very quiet, inconspicuous, and it just pops straight in my camera bag, which is handy. So going forward, you're going to see plenty of videos about why I think the Mavic Mini 2 is probably the best drone that DJI makes. So more on that in the next hopefully next 4 weeks when the weather improves, because at the moment we've had just winds like every single day. Coming with the drone, we have obviously the power brick, which is handy because it actually adapts as a power brick. As you can see, you've got a USB and a micro USB. And this basically has 3 charging points, so 3 batteries, but each one of these will give you 27 to 31 minutes flight time, or so they say, and always very good to have more than one. So even with downgrading to the Mavic Mini 2, you can just see that it's still all a nice small form factor, apart from the remote. Now a lot of people have given this a bit of stick. I don't really know why, because to be fair, when I'm flying I like to have a good grip on the remote control. Just gives you that added confidence when your drone's in the sky. So it is a big controller, it's actually bigger than the drone itself. So a lot of people have given this a little bit of stick, but you pop the camera in there, obviously your joysticks are hidden underneath. But fantastic, OcuSync 2.0, so when you're out and about flying with the Mavic Mini 2, you've got that reliability of the OcuSync 2.0 transmission. So this lives in my camera bag. Also audio, I have audio. So at the moment I've got the Rode Go Micro, whatever it's called. That's just a little shotgun mic, small mic that sits on top. When I'm inside the office, I'm going to be using that more often than not, because I don't really want to use the wireless systems, because these things I will be using when I'm out and about in the field. So what these enable me to do is they allow me to put a transmitter and a receiver on, so that I can be stood away from the camera but still make it sound like I'm stood right next to it with crisp, clear audio. So these little guys have been a fantastic addition. So what I want, you pop one on, you can put a lapel mic on if you like, and then you put the receiver transmitter on top of the camera and plug it straight into your microphone jack and have crisp, clear audio, even if you're stood quite a considerable amount of feet away from the camera. So these were pretty expensive, I think they were nearly £300, but a worthy investment. They fit in a nice little bag. You've got your little wire there which goes into the camera, and then nice little pouch, and that just lives in my camera bag. That's the only audio that I use if I'm out and about. Like I said, I take the Rode wireless system, and if I'm indoors like what I'm doing now, I just pop the little shotgun mic on, because I don't really need anything else other than that. So that lives in here now permanently. Other things that I have filters. Now filters obviously are important. If I'm out doing photography and need really slow shutters so that I can get smoothed out water or smoothed out sky, the clouds in the sky. This is my Hoya ND1000, fantastic to have in my kit. Secondly, more for video, I have the Peter McKinnon variable ND filter, and this is the 2 to 5 stop. You can get another one, but I've just decided that the 2 to 5 stop is more than enough for what I need. Obviously you've got the variable ND, which allows you to stop down the shutter if you need to and get the correct shutter speed if you're shooting video. So one for photos, one for video, nice and easy. The drone also takes filters, so I've decided to purchase some Freewell filters. These little guys pop straight onto the lens of the drone. I've got an ND4, an ND8 and an ND16 and a circular polarizer in there. Very handy, nice and small, fits in the bag, everything has its place. The next camera is my action cam, which is the DJI Osmo Action, which lives on this chest mount. So if you want to do some sort of POV style shooting, I am going to be doing a couple more of them in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to take you folks at home out shooting with me and you can just get an idea of how it is that I work. So the DJI Osmo Action, fantastic little camera. You can be a lot more rugged with that rather than a mirrorless body. You can be a lot more sort of rigorous with this thing. You can get it wet, you can chuck it about a bit, strap it to things and not worry so much if it did detach and fall or hit the floor or get wet. So very good. This lives in my camera bag and I keep it in the top compartment. Other things, I have a little power brick, a spare one, so this comes in handy if I'm out and about. If I'm in the dark, it's got a nice little LED on it. But if I needed something with a bit more juice, I can always rely on the 3 batteries that could power from the drone. So obviously the power brick comes into the form factor of a power bank, so I can plug things in using the relevant sort of sockets. And that's pretty much it. I don't really carry much else. I've got a couple of other things such as like step up, step downs, the filters and such. I've got a couple of cables so that if I need to charge I have a USB-C. I've got other ones that adapt to different sort of things that I'm charging, so I've always got a cable at hand. They're just some smaller versions, so if I need to pop it in, charge whatever it is I'm charging and go from there. Spare battery, I have a battery that lives in the Z6, but I have a backup battery. I also have backup memory cards, so if I'm out and about, and pretty much that's it. I do also keep, which is very handy to have, my business card. So if ever I'm out and about and you get talking, and it does happen, you're out and about and you meet people come up, maybe you're flying your drone, people are just naturally curious. So it's always good that you can always say, look, if you want to see some of my work, here's my business card, and you can always get a couple more followings through that. Like I said, 2022 is solely about just reducing my camera gear and making sure that I only use what I need to use. And it's always good to change your gear up, always try and sort of mix things up, find what works for you, what doesn't work for you. That's all I've got. So yeah, welcome to 2022. Stay tuned for more videos and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. So yeah, peace. How can making YouTube videos be so hard? Ah! First camera, can't do it. Try again. So, no. So, how the hell do actors do it?